Just before Christmas in 2017, my wife and I moved our family away from the vibrant capital city of Edinburgh to the leafy rural town of Crieff in Perthshire. We sought a slower lifestyle and found a suitable house in a quiet part of town. I had no studio at first, so I was forced to stop painting for a while. This pause allowed me to explore our new and beautiful landscape through photography. A camera provides the best excuse for a walk, and walking is the best way to learn about a place. Thus, I began to record the cyclical seasons of the Perthshire landscape like a wide-eyed interloper filled with a newly rekindled sense of wonder and joy. Each outing yielded a photographic gift, whatever the weather or time of day. Time seemed to saunter rather than to race as it used to, and the slower pace allowed me to become more attentive to the world around me. I came to realise a sense of contentment and belonging that I could not have anticipated. I've titled this exhibition of paintings and photographs Closer to Home, as I came to understand that the idea of home need not be rooted in the impressions imprinted during childhood, warm and strong though these are, but that the longing to return might instead be for a destination that still lies ahead, a horizon that has now come into view. As that year ended and 2018 began, the snow fell heavily in Strathearn, continuing well into April. Snow unifies the land and sky. Trees are silhouettes, fences are dynamic lines, and pylons are totems standing over the white emptiness. Everything had its place and all was wrapped in peaceful silence. I've tried to capture that sense of serenity in a number of photographs and paintings. It takes a while for me to be ready to paint. A distillation period is necessary first, so it wasn't until a full year later that I began to paint the winter landscapes in this exhibition. The first of these was a large canvas, Curraghsfield Winter, whose snow-filled furrows drive the eye to the tree line on the horizon. I wanted to capture the luminosity of the snow against the blackened stalks left from the previous summer's harvest. First snow of winter and blue December Torlam Hill are just a few minutes' walk from the house. I may not have gone very far, but I wanted to go deep, to come to understand the lie of the land and the agricultural usage that continually changes its appearance. Winter Copse at dusk features an island of trees that have self-seeded, where rocks have been cleared from the fields many generations ago. I was reminded of the 19th century Northern Romantic movement, and in particular to the paintings of Friedrich and the poems of Hölderlin. Night approaches while the ploughed land sleeps through winter in readiness for the spring. Forests and woods feature frequently in this new body of work. Here on Lover's Walk, along the banks of the Turret Burn, it is mainly populated with lanky birch trees, but in Torlam Wood to the south of Crieff, the ancient oaks and the dense pine forest is heavy with brooding darkness. Trees have a fascination for me because they live through generations of human history and will live on long into a future that I will not see. I'm reminded of the brevity of my existence as I walk among the trees, but I'm also conscious of a rootedness to the land that is my home. Whilst the winter paintings are meditations on the stillness and serenity of the snow-covered land, others hold a narrative meaning. Black Crow by a Stony Path reflects on the suicide of a close friend in 2019. In this work, the harvested field, with its dried and broken stalks, takes the eye to a point on the path where the crow has alighted. It is a small but not insignificant event that brings added poignancy to the scene. Endless Path also alludes to the path of life, but the endlessness refers to the generations that came before us and brought us onto this journey, and to our children and those who will follow us into the future. As an artist, one cannot help but be caught in the events of our time. But painting can sometimes bear the weight of hope and despair and turn these emotions into images that will be relevant in the future, just as they are now. First Light, Torlam Hill, was painted in the late summer of 2020, just as it seemed that the devastating coronavirus was under control. Dawn breaks through the darkness as the sun appears on the horizon, and a cluster of lights reciprocate in the distance. That proved to be a false dawn, but now, in mid-December, vaccinations are beginning to roll out, and the day will soon return when we are free of fear and we can begin to imagine a new and better future.